Hi guys, good evening, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host, Eddie, and in tonight's video, I will be discussing what I thought of the mid-season finale for AMC's The Walking Dead. Oh my god. I can't believe they did that. Now, before I get into specifics, of course, please be warned, if you're not caught up on The Walking Dead Season 9 by this episode or the past couple of episodes, do not keep watching or listening as I will be going into spoilers. So again, fair warning, massive, massive spoilers ahead. If you're not caught up, if you haven't seen this episode and you plan to watch it, do not keep watching or listening. That being said, wow, what an episode. It went a direction I didn't think it would, but I think this episode was a good prime example of how much they are willing to deviate from the comics, and I like that because it throws us off, and it does give us a certain amount of uncertainty, but a good kind of uncertainty, an exciting kind of uncertainty. They killed the one character who I thought was least likely to die tonight in tonight's episode. You know, this is going to sound bad, but I could have seen them killing off either Eugene or Daryl. Although Eugene did seem unlikely, especially since he just expressed interest in Rosita. But I thought it'd be sad to see him go. That'd be tragic, also for Daryl. But of everyone who could have died tonight, I did not see. Spoiler alert! I did not see Jesus dying. You know, much like Carl, he's very well alive, and in the comic books, he's still alive to my knowledge, and they offed him on the show. He's dead. That's it. And that was a real shocker to me. I'm like, oh my god, I guess this is the direction they're going. Although I could understand why they would do it. I mean, what better way to introduce a new vicious enemy like the Whisperers by having them kill a gentle yet badass soul like Jesus? I mean, this guy was one of the best fighters in the Walking Dead universe. Like next to Michonne, I think he's probably the best, or at least one of the best. But you know, it's too bad to see him go. I mean, I was very thrown off. I was like, "Oh, Jesus, no!" But you know, I guess that's the way that they saw fit to tell the story. I mean, if this helps advance and further the story, then I'm all for it. I mean, every death adds to the story and keeps it moving forward. So I'm sure there's a reason for it. And like I said, there was a reason for it. We met the Whisperers. I mean, we heard them whispering, and we saw them kill someone, Jesus. And then the rest of them, the small gang, attacked the rest of our survivors, but they were all quickly dispatched by the remaining characters. And then Daryl actually peeled off one of the masks, and we saw one of the ugly, creepy walker skin masks being held up by him, saying, you know, what is this? And now they realize, oh my god, these walkers aren't evolving like Eugene theorized. It's people disguised as walkers. That's terrifying. Super terrifying. And I love that Daryl got a real good impression of that, especially when they turned the herd around and avoided the fire popper that he and the dog set off, or at least he did. And then, you know, as Jesus was cutting down walkers left and right, and when that final walker was standing, I thought to myself, oh God, this could be a Whisperer, or maybe this one bites him or something. And sure enough, as soon as he goes to slash it, it spins around and then gets him right in the back. And I do believe that Jesus is unfortunately dead, because it looks like the Whisperer stabbed him repeatedly several times in the back, but it looks like right where the lungs are. And once those lungs fill up with blood, you're pretty much finished. And unfortunately, I think that's what happened to poor Jesus. But, you know, that guy didn't live long to tell about it, because all the characters ended him and the gang, the rest of the Whisperers, off. But what a hell of a way to introduce them. I mean, we heard them whispering, we saw them leading the herd of walkers, and now we saw them in action. They killed Jesus, and they tried to attack the others, but they were quickly ended before it could get worse. But I'm sure there's plenty more of them out there. And something else I really enjoyed about this episode is that Negan is now finally out of his jail cell. Much to my surprise, he didn't kill anybody, at least that we've seen yet. I mean, the next episode, when the show returns in February, like it always does after hiatus, it's still the same night, so we very well could see him kill someone in Alexandria while escaping. But I'm not quite sure yet. But I am absolutely intrigued and titillated how Negan is going to fit into this story, because Now our communities are either going to fight separately or together against the Whisperers with Negan in the middle. And I am dying to know where his allegiance is going to lie or fall or align with. If he somehow finds himself fighting side by side with Daryl or Michonne, that would be incredible. I mean, I don't know how much Negan has changed over the past 6 years, and he's clearly been in confinement this whole time. And I am just dying to know what his story is going to be for this half of the season. Speaking of the second half of this season, now that they have finally officially introduced the Whisperers, I do not believe or think that the Whisperer War, as it's referred to in the graphic novel series, I don't think it's going to be quickly resolved in under 8 episodes. If anything, we're going to get a good chunk of bloody episodes in the second half, hopefully, with good stories. But I don't see it concluding at the end of this season. I see it carrying over into season 10 and then maybe stops halfway through season 10 if the show gets a 10th season. This is just pure speculation, by the way. I honestly have no idea how long the Whisperer storyline is going to last, but considering that they are finally have now just been introduced, I got a good feeling they are going to be around for a good long while. So those are my thoughts and opinions on it. What did you guys think of the episode? Oh, by the way, in case those of you who are trying to figure out why the door wasn't locked on Negan's cell, I think Gabriel left in a highly emotional state and slammed the door behind him, forgetting to lock it. And even though that guard was a former sanctuary worker or a former savior, I don't think he left it unlocked for Negan. I think Gabriel, honestly, in his fury and in his emotional state, just forgot to lock it. So I think that's the case that happened. But the point is that Negan is out now, and now the Whisperers have arrived, and the tension between the communities is at an all-time low, and I am also super curious as to what the hell happened. Why have all the communities suddenly become isolated from one another? That's going to be some interesting storytelling right there. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of the night. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more episode reviews like this one, and to stay tuned and up to date on coverage for The Walking Dead Season 9, which returns to AMC in February. Don't know the exact date yet, but I'm sure I will know it once I've uploaded this video. And thank you again for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.